YouTube, it's Borge Dude and I'm back with another discussion video. Today I'm asking the question, are the Siege and Earthrise figures, have they been the best ever that the Generations line has produced? When it comes to Transformer collecting, Generations has always been my go-to, back in the days when it was called Classics. Now obviously the design philosophy has changed. Classics' original idea was to take G1 characters and update them for the G1 fans, and as well as to attract a modern audience. Now we've obviously seen that shift back into more G1 toon accuracy with Earthrise and Siege, but a lot of those figures still do hold up. I particularly still like Classics Optimus Prime. I know a lot of people don't like that character, but for me it's still a winner when it comes to Transformers. And when we go into the likes of the earlier generation stuff such as Warpath and the Wheeljack there, they were brilliant as well. Some figures aged a bit worse than others, of course, such as maybe the Universe Sideswipe mould. That's a bit rough these days, but it's been an amazing journey that I feel has got us to this point. Now, when we look at Earthrise and Siege, we have to look at the trilogy that came before it. So we had Combiner Wars, which is one of my favourite Transformer gimmicks, and you can see Combiner Wars Devastator there. That's one of my favourite combiners on my display, and I don't think he will be topped. There was some amazing figures in the Titans Return line. I loved how they updated the Headmaster gimmick, and they did it reasonably well with some amazing retooling. Probably the Primes, while it was mostly just what we call a cleanup wave, we definitely got some new iterations of characters such as Punch, Counterpunch and Battle Trap. Amazing. But when it comes to Siege and Earthrise, this for me as a perennial G1 Transformers collector has been the definitive Generations line and representations of these Generation 1 characters. I think the design quality has been brilliant on them. The way things transform, it's almost a masterpiece style transformation, and I'm referring to earlier masterpieces such as MP10, MP Wheeljack and Sideswipe and so forth, not the newer designs with all the panel folding and such. They're very close to those MP 2.0 transformation designs. Just the character designs overall have been brilliant. I love the way the Siege line sort of harken back to the Classics days, reimagining the Generation 1 characters and giving them new alt modes that were still close enough to the Generation 1 counterparts, just so you could have that connection, I guess. But Earthrise, if you're the G1 Artcast fan, you have been more than catered for. Unfortunately, there's some characters we're going to miss due to the way the world is at the moment, but still, amazing, absolutely amazing bunch of figures they have released. If I was just starting out collecting Transformers, trying to rekindle my childhood, and I started off in the Siege wave, I would be more than happy with the figures that came out. I mean, heck, we even got Reflector coming out in the Siege line, and when was the last time he had a proper update apart from his Generation 1 days? I think that's amazing that we're seeing all these sort of side characters, the G1 art characters, if you will, coming into this line. The scale of this line is also amazing. It's been a soft reboot, adding in that Commander class, and relatively speaking, everything scales as it should, and that looks brilliant on your collection shelf. Quality for me, yeah, I've seen a few QC issues with this line, particularly with the Datsun mold, with the roof just completely snapping off figures, which is a shame, but unfortunately it does happen, and it shouldn't happen, but it does. But I've been very lucky when it comes to my figures. I've had the odd paint issue, maybe the loose joint issue here and there, but that's something I'm used to, especially with the previous Generations waves. It just unfortunately does happen. But overall, when it comes to my collecting, I've pretty much, I feel at this moment, for all the characters I bought, I've got an almost definitive collection now from the Siege and Earthrise cast, and I can't see me looking to upgrade these figures at all. I'm definitely looking forward to getting Cyclonus and Warpath in the Kingdom line, as well as the other characters that have been announced. Plus the Studio Series 86 line for a G1 fan is amazing. What I do hope to see more of is the fact that we're now moving away from the Generation 1 stuff and allowing those fans who enjoyed Beast Wars into the Generations line in a more meaningful way. We're not just getting thrown in random or fan favourite characters into a Generations subline. It's really focusing on them, and if that does well, we'll hopefully see the Unicorn Trilogy, Prime, and even Animated, which seems to get forgotten these days, which is a shame. But what do you guys think about the Siege and Earthrise line? Do you think it's given us a definitive G1 cast of characters, and with stuff coming out in Kingdom as well, do you think that'll complete it, along with a sprinkling of Studio 86 characters? Let me know in the comments section below, or if you can do a video response, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to me recently. It's really nice to see. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you again soon with another video.